Ciao ragazzi, my name is Anthony. Welcome back to Inter Worldwide. It's a lovely morning here in Southwest Sydney. And yes, I probably am only saying that because I'm on school holidays, but feeling good for now. Ask me again in 24 hours. Welcome to everybody in the chat. And let's start by introducing a couple of guests. You know him very well as Pessimism FC's president slash vice president, depending on who's in a worse mood on the day. My friend Mattia, it's good to see you smiling, bro. How's it going over there in Belgrade?
Yes, it's always a pleasure to be here. I'm always questioning who is the president, who is the vice president, you or me. But yeah, it depends on the day, like you say. So yeah, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. This is probably the last game I'm excited for this season. But yeah, we're gonna get into that later. So yeah, it's good to see you again.
Yeah, and it's really good to welcome for the first time on the channel my friend from Vancouver, Reno, who also has his own channel called Culture with Reno Z. The link for his channel is in the description. It's in the banner and also in our chat. Reno, welcome to Inter Worldwide. It's great to have you. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, well, thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here with you two fellow Interisti. So let's see what happens.
Absolutely, bro. Let's have a little bit of fun, as you like to say. Let's go to the comments first before we get started. Oliver is in the chat. I don't recognize this account, so if you are new, definitely subscribe if you are. There's a new feature on StreamYard that allows you to stream to your guest platform. So if you're someone like Reno who has a channel, we can now stream this directly to his channel as a guest. Vice versa, he could do the same for me. So if anybody's wondering what that new feature is, that's a pretty cool feature from StreamYard that might save some people a bit of money subscription-wise, but we'll revisit that later on at another time. Joseph is in the chat as well. Good to see you again. I can't believe you're here finally for a stream. You usually come in with the comments later on, but yes, this is work hours for me usually, except for when we're on school holidays. Mighty Mo is in the house. Good to see you. We really need a win. I'm not planning for a win in Portugal tomorrow. That's for sure, man. You know, if we can leave with a draw, I'll consider us quite lucky. As I said, link to Reno's channel is in the chat and in the description as well. Click it and give him a follow. Congratulations on reaching 100 subscribers as well, my bro.
Yeah, it's been more than 100. I was surprised, but yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. Hopefully they get more, which I'm happy that a lot of people like it.
Consistency is the king. Yeah, like, yes, nice thumbnails and sharing and all this might be well and good, but nothing can replace good old-fashioned consistency and persistence, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So especially with the Italian viewers, I'm happy that they're following me as well. So it's good.
Well, it's great. It's great that you do it in both languages. If I could speak fluent Italian, I'd be doing 2 sets of videos as well. So, but
that's amazing. If you do it in 2 languages, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, because in the morning in Vancouver time, I do Buongiorno da Vancouver, explain myself in Italian. Then after work, like tomorrow after the game, when I finish work, then I do it in English. Then I say the day after in Italian. So.
Yeah, keep it up, bro. It's going well. Shout out to Balkan Warrior, who is a channel member as well. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for coming through to my friend Anthony. Positive vibes for tomorrow. Hey, man, if there's the one positive we can say, it's that we probably didn't expect to be in the quarterfinals at the moment. But then on the other shoe, you might say it's the only thing preventing us from moving forward, grabbing our balls, sacking our manager, all that fancy stuff. Because I think we can all agree, and more so for you and me, Mattia, Simone Inzaghi would not be in a job right now if he didn't have a quarterfinal, a winnable quarterfinal as well.
Yeah.
Let's actually talk about that.
Been gone a long time ago, bro.
Let's talk about that for the first few minutes. We've got 20 people here right now, and I want to give a special shout out to this gentleman. That is my father. That is my dad, who is taking a much deserved holiday in Griffith, where the grass grows greener. Yeah, Griffith. For anyone that doesn't know, Griffith is a bit of a cannabis capital of New South Wales and Australia back in the day. So even though my dad's not engaging in that behavior, he's definitely visiting the place where the grass grows greener in New South Wales. So thanks for popping in, Dad. Enjoy your break. Mattia, we've got a quarterfinal tomorrow, for fuck's sake, and here we are in the pits, out of the top 4 for the first time this season. In terms of form, Atalanta has crap form, but it's better than ours. Milan has crap form, better than ours. Roma has rocky form, better than ours. Juve has fantastic form prior to the Lazio result.
Yeah.
Lazio
doesn't have better form than ours. That's the question.
You have the mic, you have the floor, Mattia. Go for it.
Who doesn't have a better form? I mean, 6 games without a win. Maybe you have to go to... No, actually, Sampdoria has a win. Our Deki Stankovic has a win. 3 games ago. Cremonese has a win, Verona. So nobody. I mean, maybe Lecce. I'm not sure. Maybe Salernitana. I don't know. But maybe two other, maybe two other teams in Serie A can say that they don't have a win in the last 6 games, which is, abysmal for a team like Inter. So this is a horrible, horrible form. And I don't know how we can expect to finish in the top 4 or, advance. But, Champions League, cups, Inzaghi is a cup merchant. So I guess
You
anything
never
can
know.
happen in cup competitions. But, for the league, I think if we, I don't expect us to play Champions League next year unless we win it.
Well,
Anything can happen. The
Well,
ball
that's
is
what I was
around.
about. That's what I was about to say. We might not be confident, but there's 9 games left in Serie A, meaning that there's still 27 points up for grabs, and barely a game separates third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. So there's still plenty of time for teams to make mistakes, and it's not like Mourinho is perfect. He's gonna have some cagey games where he drops points with Roma. That's for sure. This Pioli side is going to drop more points, so we're nowhere near out of it. It's just so happens that we just happen to have our back against the wall just as bad, if not higher, than the rest of the teams at the moment. And I remember saying at the start of the season, man, like Maurizio Sarri and Lazio will continue to look like the best team in Serie A on their day. It just so happens in the last year and a half, their day comes around once every 4 weeks, once every 5 weeks. Well, recently, their day has been almost every day. And now you're really starting to see the technical quality of the Lazio players who have now fit the technical system like a glove. They're a very technical side. Very few sides on paper have that sort of technical ability that Lazio side has. And this is where Maurizio Sarri has sort of finally found the middle ground of consistency in Serie A because they've got the right size shirt for the right players. How many times do we see in football these days? They're forcing players in different positions, forcing players that don't want to be there. They've finally got something right there, Lazio. But that's a conversation for another time. Rino, I want to go over to you for your initial thoughts going into the Europa League. And after we have the initial thoughts, then we'll go into the more specifics of each game. You are a Juve fan, obviously. You play your first leg in Turin. We have to go to Portugal. First question is, how are you feeling? Second question is, what's the general consensus with the Juventini, with the Juve fans at the moment? Are they confident? Are you guys going into this Europa game going, this is it, we need to win this, and then we need to win the semi-final, and we need to win this tournament?
Well, as for me, with Sporting, it's a 50-50 because with these Portuguese teams, they're very tough. Like, I would love to go in the final. At this moment, Europa League, like even the majority of the Juve fans, they want to see at least win a European competition because we haven't won for so long. But we have to see. We don't know who's going to be available. Like there are rumors saying maybe Pogba, but I doubt it. I don't believe anybody what they're saying about
Does
this
that
Pogba.
guy exist?
Yeah, because even last week they said by Lazio, a day before he's not playing. And I told people, don't send me these messages because for me, Pogba will not be playing until the end of the season. But let's hope the boys do well. Now the problem is Vlahovic may not play, so I hope Chiesa will give a little bit of magic, Di Maria, and I hope Allegri will do well like he did the last game with Freiburg. So, but Sporting, they're pretty tricky. So I only hope.
Is Allegri on the bench for this game, or is it Landucci?
No, I think he should be in this game. We'll find out tomorrow, but I haven't heard nothing because Saturday he had a flu, so I'm pretty sure he's okay till now.
Right.
So we'll see.
Okay, fair enough. All right, it's time to talk more specifically about Inter Benfica, and I'm going to bring one of our other channel members into the chat as well. So, what's going on, Mike Ma? Unmute yourself, have a little bit of a chat. I think it's your second time on the channel now, Mike. Welcome back.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Yeah,
Hello,
Mattia. Hey, Kelsey. Yeah, happy to be here again. Thank you for having me.
No worries, bro. How you feeling about the Benfica game, Mike? You can get us kick started.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, not looking too much about it, to be honest, because we're in a really poor form and 6 winless games. And on the other hand, Benfica has been pretty good, like only 2 losses this season. And on the weekend they lost to Porto. So it's possible, right? It's possible we can beat them, but in two games. But yeah, I mean, away game this season, and yeah, the only positive vibe that I have for Inter is Inzaghi is the cup manager, and also there's a kind of like trend that or insight that team have been performing very smoothly previously in the cup. Normally they will have some hiccup in the kind of critical game. Inter has been pretty clunky, like up and down. This in the against Bayern and Barcelona in the group stages and barely made it through. So there maybe we can be lucky, with 26 shots or 60 shots that we only got 2 goals in the past few games. So yeah, I mean those are probably only few things I feel like a little bit confident, hopeful, right? But I think Benfica has a very big edge against us. Their players are more technical, and they're much better informed. Yeah.
Yeah, the only positives that I can say are actually coming from the lack of personnel available to Benfica, and this is where I'll segue into Mattia. Now, I don't know a lot about the Portuguese league. I don't have time to tune into every league in the world, especially due to the kickoff times, but I know for a fact that, as Mike said, they've only lost 2 games this season. Their latest defeat came to Porto from South side the other day. They'll have some injuries going into this, though. Like, I know that they're without Gonzalo Guedes.
Three of them, I think.
Yeah, Guedes is out, Draxler's out, Ristic is out, Otamendi is out, Alexander Barr, who has been very good for this season, should be out. So,
Grimaldo, I think he's out.
Grimaldo is, he's on this lineup here, but he's rumored to be like really, really clutching at the teeth to get fit to this one. Gilberto is going to be fit for it. And, their highly rated Antonio Silva, their left-sided defender, will be available. He's very, very good. But... yeah. They will be void of their regular starters that probably will lack, they won't be as fluid as they usually will be. Our biggest problem is coming from, let me just check the mic, João King Mario, who seems to have scored 18 goals or something this season. Yeah, I know they're all from the penalty spot. The best thing that João Mario did for Inter was eliminate Juve in a Benfica jersey. I mean, the guy was the biggest waste of money we have ever had in our club. 40 million down the drain, and he's just started to hit form now. Mattia, I'm going over you because we know better than anybody what happens when former Inter players come up against Inter. Yeah. Do you want us to relive the trauma of Sunday? That goal that went in from Candreva, I fully expect a goal to go in from João Mario's culo against us in Benfica. So, Mattia, when you look at this starting lineup for Benfica, are you scared?
When an ex-Inter player plays against Inter, there is 100 to 101% chance that they will score. So I am already over that fact. So he will score in this tie. I don't know in which game, but you just know it's going to happen. So I accepted it already. So
and the fact that he's the designated penalty taker for their side as well, it just really adds insult to it, doesn't it?
Yeah. But he's gonna do it.
So I think he's going to play against Darmian, right? On the right. Yeah. So Darmian is a very, very smart defender. So
he's been good recently.
Yeah, he's been good, and he's very, he play ball with brain. He's not like that technical or that quick, but he's really like positioning and tackling. The timing is very, very good. So hopefully he can shut down João Mario, but who knows?
Hakan is not ready, I see. That's a big problem for us.
Hakan apparently is ready. I could not find a predicted lineup with him in it, though. So it could be one of those classic fake smoke things, because from what I woke up reading, apparently Skriniar and Hakan are ready. And
Skriniar is ready. Yeah, he's ready for Paris.
Yeah, exactly right.
Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah, he should never be. Skriniar, ready, and Inter should never be used in the same sentence again. I know this sounds bad, but if going out and being eliminated means not having him in the starting lineup, so be it. I mean, there's just a certain amount of character that you can present without. I don't know. I'm over the guy completely. I need to see the back of him yesterday because. Yeah, they train separately from the group, as Ian Curry is saying, Hakan and Skriniar. So you might see Hakan get some minutes. As Marty Mouse says, Skriniar probably has an eyelash injury now. So He probably won't be playing for
Of
us.
course.
He and Pogba, Reno can keep training on their own.
I know.
Bro.
Trust me.
Yeah.
It's
I have a
unbelievable.
question for you guys. So,
Go
what do you
for it.
guys think about Brozovic against Aslani? Because I think Aslani is more informed. Brozovic is like, he's playing horrible. I mean, last game. So, why would we start him? I mean, the only reason is like more experience. But if I'm the coach, I would start Aslani.
Excuse me,
I
who's
think
that?
No
I
one
don't know
knows.
who you're talking about.
Oh, Aslani?
Oh yeah, I've never heard of that guy. Does he play for Inter? No,
He's
I don't
joking,
know.
Mike. He's joking, Mike, because it's taken 29 match days and
I know.
but even Brozovic coming off the bench against Salernitana, that should be an 11 out of 10 sub. That should be a player that comes on, dominates the midfield, makes 100% complete passes, rattles and disrupts the play. He looked shocking when he came off the bench for Salernitana. So I'd have to agree, man. Why not play Aslani?
Why
There's
not?
a comment.
At this point,
Yeah. But what if you see how, because we have to redeem Aslani at the end of the season. I read somewhere that Inzaghi hasn't been starting Bellanova because if he plays a certain amount of minutes, we might need to redeem him and we just don't have the money. And that would make a lot of sense. That would make a lot of sense. But then again, Inter's a club that Inter doesn't like to make sense because apparently we've agreed a 3.8 million a season extension for De Vrij for 2 seasons, and he's our worst centre back.
Idiots.
So this is what we do when we're broke. We offer 3.8 million a season for 2 years to our worst, most out of form, mentally checked out centre back. How good's that?
Yeah.
It's really dumb.
Regarding Brozovic, he was midfielder of the season last season, but this season he has been absolutely zero for us.
Checked out. Yep.
Absolutely. So he was injured most of the season. When he wasn't injured, he played terribly. So it is a very difficult
situation.
Yeah,
it is. I can't believe Gagliardini is only 29 years old. That's an absolute disgrace. That's a disgrace. Mo, are you doing a watch? Are you doing a watch along tomorrow, Mo? Because if you are doing a watch along for this one, I can probably help. I can probably get in. I mean, I'm on holiday, so
why not? Take advantage. It might be
as long as it's not before 5 a.m. It's at 5 a.m. exactly. So I'll
he's doing it. Yes.
I'll roll out of bread, wash my face, and then I'll join you, Mo. Beautiful. I'll join
that
you a
early
bit
from
later.
you guys. Wow.
Yeah.
Here it's at 12 o'clock, 12 p.m.
That's good. See, I don't know what these days. I think I prefer the morning games, the early morning ones, because by the end of the day, you're over it. Whereas I'm not too sure what it's like for you guys. But if I would have to watch a game in the PM and then go to bed, I feel like my bad mood would go to sleep with me and then wake up.
Trust me, it ruins my day sometimes. Like what happened on Saturday.
Yeah. All right, well, let's go through and predict the result of the first leg, and then we will move on to the Europa League and hand Reno the majority of the mic. So I'll start. Why not? I'll start. So we're going to Portugal. They've lost 2 games all season. They're not going to lose at home. That's for damn sure. Mattia, I am sick of being like, even for me, I've tried to be optimistic in match predictions in the last month. I don't know if you've noticed. I've like tampered with my words and gone, yeah, all right, we might win 2-1, or we might do this, we might do that. No more mites. Fuck that. Sorry for my language. I'm done. I'm over it, bro. We are losing this game 2-0 in Portugal. We will not get an away goal. I do not see us scoring. We will probably need a penalty to score in this first tie. What happens in San Siro? Different story. I'll come back with a more optimistic prediction. But for this game in Portugal, I'm going 2-0. 2-0 to Benfica. Mattia, you next.
That's a very realistic prediction. I hope I have no delusions about us winning, so that's not even, I don't even consider that. The best score we could get somehow, if we get lucky, is 0-0. So that would be the best thing we could do out of this game. But I see some mistake, maybe some stupid thing that happens. Yeah, maybe Gagliardini comes in and he dominates, and we concede 1 goal. And I see if we lose by 1 goal, I will still have some small hope for us in the reverse fixture. But yeah, I think 1-0 to Benfica. That's
Bruce Wayne, the president and only member of the Interclub Gotham, says
Buy us,
2-1.
please.
2-1 win for
Bruce
yeah. Come
Wayne,
on, Bruce.
buy us.
Put your money
I don't know,
down,
guys.
brother. Come on, bro. Update that Batcave with some black and blue, man. We need some investors. We need it ASAP.
Badly.
ASAP. All right, Mike. What are you saying, bro? Optimistic, pessimistic, board draw?
I like it. I like your bet, Anthony. But here's the thing. So with us, it would be really tough for us if Benfica scores first. So we just don't have any clutch player. We just can't score for it right now. So I think the best possible. I mean, my mind, my heart tells me I hope gonna be 0-0 or 1-1. But in reality, I probably would go with you. Probably Benfica 2-0, unfortunately.
2-0.
Yeah.
And now we go over to our friend Rino, who is going to predict the game as well. Take your Juve cap off for a second. How do you see it, bro? Objectively, how do you see this one?
Objectively, I don't know, because Benfica, they've been scoring a lot of goals. Like the last game of Champions League, they scored like 5-2. So it is a
this
quarter.
was against Club Bruges, right? Where they completely
Club Bruges, yes.
Them.
So I don't know. I don't want to be rude. Maybe for Benfica 3-0. Let's hope not 5-2, 5-3, because Benfica, they score a lot of goals. So we'll see. But in Champions League, la palla è tonda. The ball is around. So anything can happen. With their defense, maybe you guys might be lucky a tie. So
it's a knockout game, so it only takes one mistake, right?
Yeah, well, like Materazzi said his last interview, it's a quarterfinal, so anything can happen. Because
that's it, bro. That's
Benfica, they play soccer.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate to say, but they do.
Let's not forget we beat them in the final of Champions League in 1965.
Yeah, well, we lost 4-3. We were 4-1, and then we managed to score out of 2 goals because Juventus at the last minute, they always wake up. So
in the group stage, yeah, I remember.
Oh man, that was brutal.
Yeah, it was. That was the dagger to you guys. That was like, shit, we're probably not going to make it out of these group stages.
Yeah, exactly. At the last game, we lost with Maccabi Haif. That was a vergogna, man.
That's it. And that's what landed you here, which, still in a respectable position now in the quarterfinals, although I think we can all agree in this chat, the Europa League starts to get interesting when you get to the quarterfinals and the semifinal. Yes. Before that, it is just a burden. I considered it a burden when Conte was here up until we beat Leverkusen in the second leg. When we beat Leverkusen in the second leg and we basically embarrassed Kai Havertz on that side, it was a really good game from us. And then we went and beat Shakhtar Donetsk. I think it was it 5-0 in the first leg? But yeah, do you remember, Mike? Did we win 5-0 or 5-1 in the first leg against Shakhtar in the Europa League semis?
That was.
It was something rough. It was something rough. Like we booked our spot really quickly. Maybe I'm mistaken.
But
I don't even know.
We didn't play 2 games. We just play 1 game.
Oh yeah,
that was the season where it was just 1 game played.
Yes, we got lucky there.
Yeah,
we got
there
lucky
were
there a little bit.
2 matches. Yeah.
Right.
So it was the COVID season. So
yeah,
there were no 2 matches. But now I'm.
That's okay. All right, Reno. We have 2 things.
Yeah, I think it's 5.
The first
yeah,
one
5-0. You're right. 5-0.
There you go. Yeah. The first thing in common, Reno, is that we're in the quarterfinals. The second thing is that we're up against Portuguese opposition. How do you see this game? How do you see this game going? Sporting, obviously, not having a good a season as Benfica, but you got to be careful of these clubs when they get to a European quarterfinal, because it's everything to them. The Shakhtars, the Sevillas, the Feyenoords, the Romas, the Sportings, they're ready, bro. They're geared up. The fans are geared up. Lisboa is geared up. How are you feeling, man?
Well, how I'm feeling, like I said, even doing Champions League against Porto with us, these Portuguese teams, you got to be careful, because I watched the last game, Sporting and Arsenal. Even though they win by penalty shots, the last minute Sporting scored that goal. I don't know why Arsenal couldn't get the job done. But they're tough, Sporting. So we got to be very careful, because Allega's going to play this defense. He's going to try to find his way not to concede a goal. But if we concede a goal, señala la Groch, like, So I only hope, as we played with Freiburg, Allegri sometimes he knows how to read these games. He did pretty good at those 2 legs. So we'll see if we can do something good on Thursday.
If this is your lineup going into the game, I would be very optimistic because there is a lot of talent in that starting lineup, I have to say.
Yeah, but I don't know about Vlahovic because I heard he might not play because he got off Instagram. So I don't know. He's going through a rough time, Vlahovic. So I don't know if he's still injured or I don't know.
It's the social media generation of athletes, Reno, man. For all of their talent and their effort on the pitch, mentally that they're not in the same space as the players that we grew up watching. You grew up watching.
Yeah.
If you had a bad game back in the day, you walk into the dressing room, there's a trainer there ready to slap you and a manager ready to tell you
exactly.
you need 2 weeks on the sideline before you come back in the first team. Now you have a bad game, you walk in the dressing room, you pull up your phone, you see your 40 million Instagram subscribers, you go home to your supermodel wife and your $300 Fiorentino steak and $200 bottle of wine, you go to bed, everything's okay, right?
Yeah, well, Vlahovic, it's been recently. He's not going through. I don't know if it's Allegri thing. Maybe Allegri system, it's not fitting him. But he's missing stops. He hasn't been scoring. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope. I don't want him to be sold next year. But I hope he can snap. And I hope if Chiesa plays, let's hope to see a better Chiesa. I know he's not 100%, but we'll see.
While I've got you here, I always enjoy talking to people like you and my friend Alberto because you're always going to give me an honest response.
Yeah.
The Rabiot situation. Now, there's no doubt he's been one of your better players this season, but this is where the power of the player and the agent, and obviously when you have your mother as an agent, different story, but he is going to try and extort everything out of Juve. What would you offer him? What's enough for you? Can you move into double digits, 10 million a season for Rabiot, or is this just not going to happen in the modern world?
No, 10 million is too much. Maybe stay the same price, maybe a little bit of bonus if he wants to stay, but 10 million is too much. No, thank you.
And out of, let's say, Alexandro, Juan Cuadrado, 2 players that are rumored to be on the fence of 1-year extension, leave for free. Do you keep any of these 2?
Alexandro, it's better that he does quattro passi because he's really pissing me off. He hasn't been playing. It's a 50-50. Cuadrado, there are rumors saying he might leave, so I don't know. But even Cuadrado recently, he's been pissing me off. So even though he scored against you guys at the Coppa Italia, but
Cuadrado's always going to score against us. It's just simple as that. I made a joke on Twitter. I read, you just know Beppe Marotta is offering Cuadrado a 2-year deal at 4 million a season in the back room right now after he's fighting with Lukaku. He's pulled him to the side and gone, "One next season, yeah, you'll be here with me." But anyway, going into your predictions for this game, we'll start with you, Rino, and then we'll go off to the boys for a more of an outside perspective. This has got classic Allegri 1, Sporting 0 written all over it, doesn't it?
Yeah, but knowing with these big teams, anything can happen. I'm hoping maybe 2-1 for Juventus. Yes. With the 1-0, you won't manage. There should be a tie or loss. So
with the no away goals rule, we're in an awkward situation where 3-2, 4-3, 1-0. It doesn't matter. And you know what? As Italian clubs, I think Materazzi said it in his recent interview. This doesn't favor Italian clubs. We like the away goals rule. The away goals rule was carved.
I know, but the last years with the Italian soccer, with the away goals, they couldn't manage to go to the quarter at the last 10 years. You know what I mean? Well, then with Juventus the last 4 years, they haven't been managing into the quarter. So it's more luck because you see now you guys are at the quarter champions. Napoli for the first time. Milan after a while. So it does benefit. I know if you play at home, 1 goal, it's double, but it's been very tough, in my opinion.
Yeah, you just need to outscore your opposition the way it's supposed to be. That's exactly what we're going to have to do. Ian says we are Cuadrado's favorite to score against. I think he has 5 against us. Oh, Ian, if we were to sign Cuadrado, we would lose 2-0 to Juventus with 2 Cuadrado own goals. I can guarantee you that right now. Let's move over to the gentleman here. Mattia, quick prediction for Juventus versus Sporting.
I can't honestly say that I'm very much that I know a lot about Benfica. I haven't followed. Sorry, Sporting. I haven't
Sporting.
followed the Portuguese league that much, but I have to give advantage to Italians, even though these specific Italians I hate, but they definitely, I think Juventus should go through. I don't think it's going to be a lot of goals. I think it's going to be 1-0 or 2-1 for Juventus.
Fair enough. Going over to you, Mike. What's your prediction for Juve versus Sporting in the quarterfinal first leg in Turin?
Trying to be objective because not a big fan of Juventus. And sorry, but
I'm not a big fan of Inter Milan, but I respect.
We're all here. We're all here.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Yeah, so it's all good.
I actually watched Sporting game against Tottenham in the Champions League stage.
Yeah, that was a good one.
They were a very technical team. They play very well. I think. I would support underdog. I mean, probably consider Sporting in this clash. Probably would, is Juventus at home. I mean, eventually, I don't know. Probably this one gonna be 1-0 or 1-1, I think, and then the second leg, and then Sporting might be advancing through the next stage at home. But I think they're a really good team. Don't underestimate that. They're really good.
Well, that's good. And, in a couple of weeks' time, we'll probably get Reno back on the channel and we'll talk about the second leg as well to see what happens. But
Reno.
Thanks, boys, for a good European chat. I liked it. Very good. Let's go to something a little bit more painful for all of us. Maybe for Inter fans even more so for Juve fans, because, let's just take our hats off for a second in context. It's absolutely fucking disgusting that we are only ahead of Juventus by 7 points when they have been given court dates and a 15-point disruption. Mentally, it's just embarrassing, man. And when and if they do get those points back, that day that Juve moves above us in the Campionato, I think some Inter fans and some people in the club haven't registered the fact that could well still be coming. We haven't slumped as low as we can yet this season. And while there's still time for us to get third or fourth, there's a lot of time for us to get seventh as well. And that's something I'm absolutely sure of is a possibility. I'm going to go to Mattia first, Mike second, Reno third. Let's talk a little bit about the Campionato. Let's not spend too long talking about our teams, because I wanted to have a tiny little chat about the bottom as well, because it's starting to get very, very interesting at the bottom of the ladder. Mattia, 9 games left. We've all seen who we've got to play still. We still need to play Lazio. We still need to play Atalanta. We still need to play Napoli. And we finish the season against Torino. It's going to be bloody hard, Mattia.
Atalanta.
Where do you see this going? Like, more so in the next few weeks in between the Coppa Italia and the Champions League?
You know what? I always said Conference League is where it's at. So I think that's where we're going to play next season. But yeah. It doesn't look good, bro. We had 2 periods of easy games that we all lost or drew. So this is the difficult period now that we're in. And
technically, bro, we've got Monza, Empoli, and Verona in the next 3 Serie A games behind Lazio. We're going to drop points to almost all those teams.
Almost. Oh, you're optimistic, bro.
Bro, that told you, bro, Template is going to get a lot of hang time on my Canva app. I'm telling you that.
Bro, I mean, Monza. I mean, our Juve brother knows Monza is a slippery slope.
Yeah, we give them 6 points.
So if you think we're going to win against Monza, you are optimistic, bro. So
well, you guys tied the first game, so we'll see the next one.
Yeah, no, we tanked it completely. We
got the first draw of this season against Monza in the first leg. Yeah, and the last minute they scored against us.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
Pessimistic, but he thinks that we're going to probably get enough draws. We might draw our way into fourth by the end of the month, depending on what happens with Milan and Roma. But yeah, it's looking bleak, man. It's looking bleak for everybody.
Yeah, it's looking really bad. And yeah, I
You
don't
know
know
what?
how we can.
We could all sit around and talk all day about both of our sides. We do it all the time on our channel. So let's maybe talk about something a bit different. You know, who's your surprise package of the season, Rino? I'm going to go out and say I've been very, very impressed with Bologna this season. They're having a fantastic campaign under Thiago Motta, and they play good football. I think Orsolini should be a target of a top 6 side or a bigger side next season. So who's your surprise packages so far this season, Rino?
You mean like the lower teams?
Oh, yeah. Who's having a good season? Maybe who's exceeding the expectations so far? I guess there's an argument to be made for Lazio and Roma as well.
Yeah, well, those two are having a good season. Atalanta, 50-50. But a very good, besides Napoli, there's no judgmental with Napoli because they've been pretty good. But if you have to talk about the small teams, I can say Fiorentina, they've been playing really good, even though they lost the last game. But even at the Conference League, they've been pretty good, and Coppa Italia. So,
yeah, fair enough. Mike, what about you? When you look at Serie A this season, who's been your surprise package? Who are you impressed with?
Well, let me give you my 2 cents. I feel like this year has been a completely surprise. I mean, the season full of surprises, right? Napoli came out of nowhere, leading everybody, beating up everybody. They're probably going to be the champion in the next 2 or 3 games. And I think overall, right now, the Champions League sees top 4. I mean, we're probably going to be fighting against Roma, to be honest with you. And Milan is getting back in form. Lazio is flying, and Roma is kind of also on and off with Mourinho. So probably Roma, Inter, Atlanta, maybe Juventus getting the point. I mean, probably those 3 are competing the last seat of Champions League. Speaking of the middle or tail team, I feel like I agree with you. Mata has been doing a really good job. Bologna, I mean, they're doing pretty good. They're 8th right now. It's like only 5 points or 4 points away from the Conference League, I think. So they're very, very close. And yeah, I think a lot of good teams. Empoli, I think they're also a team that always give you a surprise. Sassuolo this season has been underperforming for some reason. They probably sold a few players because last summer. That's probably why. Torino has been pretty flat. I think they're just okay. No surprise. Udinese came off strong for first half of the season, and then level off right now. Just but yeah, I mean pretty. And this season, it's just like I think Napoli probably my biggest surprise. To be honest, nobody saw them.
I think everybody's surprised.
No, but to be honest with you, Napoli. Not trying to offend Napoli fan, but I don't think Champions League. I mean Milan. I mean I think don't underestimate Milan because Milan is very good at Champions League. So
yeah, they have Champions League mentality.
Yeah, mentality. So
that's all they're focusing on now.
Exactly.
I think people might think Napoli can beat Milan, but I think Milan probably got the upper hand, to be honest with you. So, but yeah, I mean that's my 2 cents.
Inter needs attackers. We need strikers. I think that we're sending Lukaku back. I think we're sending Correa on loan, and I think that we might listen to bids for Toro.
Exactly. And speaking of this, Anthony, I always been thinking why the manager Maratta or whoever the CEO building Inter. I mean, we always lack of technical player or a dribbler player or clutch player. Like look at Milan. They have Tonali, they have Bentancur, Rafael. I mean,
even Salamakis, who's not the best player, one thing he can do is dribble and take on a man.
I mean,
don't forget Brahim Diaz. Exactly.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, so
Diaz.
why are we? I mean, why are we building team based off Gagliardini, those defense? I don't know. I feel
Mike, I've been saying all season in different group chats that Milan is better than us on paper technically.
Oh, for sure.
I have been ransacked.
Well, we've seen it last year. They took away your Scudetto.
Yeah,
100%.
Your Scudetto last year should be on your hands, but Inzaghi screwed things up. It managed to tie 7-8 games, and then of course Milan took advantage of the situation.
I was gonna ask a question because like it just hit me that we really need a new striker or a new forward. I would like us to.
We need a new owner, new manager, new strikers, new team, new stadium, and then we're fine.
I would like us to look within the league, not have to go overseas and drop millions of dollars and pay wages for players. Like I look around us for forwards that are better than a shit Romelu Lukaku and an inconsistent Lautaro. I would take Beto from Udinese. I would take Sarabia from Torino. I would take Berardi from Sassuolo just for dribbling and some more pace on the flank. Like that right there. There's 3 attackers from 3 mid-table teams that are better with the ball, more consistent, more hungry with something to prove than this overplayed Romelu Lukaku. I said it in so many of my recent videos and I'll keep saying it. We are moving past the age of egotistical celebrities that are masquerading as footballers. And that's what it is. You can't be paying Lukaku 10 million a season, Paul Pogba 12 million a season, and the best thing they do is put up Instagram posts. It's a joke, bro. They are taking the piss out of our club, so we need to downsize ego. That's what I would like to
no
see
more leftovers. That's the problem with us. Yeah, they always grab the minestre scaldate, the leftovers. So
last thing for Serie A, it was really sad to see the Sampdoria fans put on a 12 out of 10 tifo and just like behave in the amazing way that they do to concede 2 late goals to Cremonese. Had Sampdoria hung on for those 3 points and moved up to 18 points, I still would have given them a slight chance. Guys, Sampdoria is getting relegated. They're getting relegated. When was the last time Sampdoria were in Serie B? Do any of you have quick fingers at the moment with your computers? When was the last time Sampdoria was in Serie B? And maybe a side statistic, when was the last time both Genovese sides were in Serie B as well? Because now, if I'm not mistaken, would that just make Spezia the last team in that, what's the word called? Liguria area? Rino, you can do it better than me. I'm not from Italy, sorry.
1999, 2000.
La Guerra?
La Guerra, that's it. Spezia.
The war. Guerra. Yeah, Guerra.
That's it. So when was the last time both Genoa and Sampdoria were in Serie B?
Genoa since last year, I think.
Yeah, but both at the same time. Like I can't remember a time for me.
No, I don't know. I lost track.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time that either Samp or Genoa were not in Serie A. So that's going to be painful for that city, and you're going to see a Genoa derby in Serie B next season. It's going to be huge. I don't think any derby, a second division derby in the world, will have a crowd like that one next season. That's for sure. Going to be big. Sad. That's pretty much it for today in terms of Serie A. Do any of you boys have any questions that you want to ask or talk about with Serie A before I move on to one more thing?
Nothing, bro.
No.
Not really. I'm just only hoping to get those 15 points back, but we'll see. It'll be on the 19th.
Oh yeah, there's so much going on at the moment. We'll talk about that and do content about that when it comes. This jumping ahead to that is just too much at the moment.
Too much, way ahead.
Yeah, there are like 2 more things waiting for Juve, and then this appeal with points, and it's all up in the air. When is that gonna end officially?
Speaking objectively, this is a horrible thing going on, not just for Juve, but for everybody in the league. The way that this has been handled is horrible because you've got teams like Roma now and Milan and Inter not wondering if a decision is going to be made to push or shove us outside of the top 4. Like I was just speaking with my friend the other day and he goes, I'm already mentally preparing because he's a big Roma fan. He goes, I'm already mentally preparing to finish 4th, celebrate and have that taken off me in a couple of weeks when the points get given back. And I go, bro, it's a disaster for everybody involved at the moment.
Well, that's what Mourinho said the last interview. How many points Juve had? Are they going to get the 15 points? We don't know. Well, we're in Italy. Mourinho needs to shut up because he's a little bit too much.
He's never going to shut up, bro. He
you hear the discussion between him and Cassano? Now we're going to hear more tomorrow with Cassano mocking off Mourinho.
Cassano, man. Cassano's something else. He's going well. Last thing I want to speak about today, and we'll give the mic to our friend Rino. Dusan Vlahovic, your most expensive player / signing. You touched on it at the start of the video. If it was your decision, would you keep him? Have you seen enough? Or do you think that the guy just needs to go to England because that's all the rumors seem to be talking about? It's always Arsenal this, Man United that, Chelsea this, Arsenal that. England for everybody in the world.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't want him to leave. Of course, if we still have Allegri, the chances he might leave. But if we have another coach, I'm pretty sure he will do good, because if this guy leaves to England, then everybody's going to be disappointed. He's going to be scoring goals, like what just happened with Deli Jeet. Look at him now at Bayern. He's doing a wonderful job.
Yeah.
So it's true. We made the money, but we cannot think like that. Like this kid, I know he's young. It's not like playing with Fiorentina, playing with Juventus. It's a different strategy. There's more pressure and stuff. But I believe if you put another coach that gives good coaching experience, not with this catenaccio bullshit, I call it, the Ortomuso Allegri style, I'm pretty sure this guy will do pretty good.
Yeah.
He just needs a snap, because don't tell me that this guy's not good, because in Serbia he scored 3 goals. And I don't know. Like I say, he just took off Instagram. He's going through a bad phase. So hopefully in the summer we have some good news.
Yeah.
Allegri's system doesn't suit him. That's what I said since.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've been telling everybody, but nobody listens to me.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Because they all defend him, right? Mr. Allegri. He's the most defended coach. I'm just the guys. We need a new coach. Aria fresca. You know.
Yeah, you and us both, bro. You and us both.
Yeah, I know, but you guys too with Inzaghi. I never liked him. I kind of feel sorry for you guys.
I think to be honest, I think that Pioli and Milan are finished as well. I think that you can sort of see the signs now that he's reached his peak of flexibility. You're not going to be able to get Pioli to shapeshift this Milan back into a Scudetto winning side. I think a lot of the mentality was piggybacked off the last season where Zlatan was physically able to contribute, but also mentally there. We can see on the sideline this season, Zlatan, he's got his Scudetto, he's got his cigar. I don't think Zlatan gave 2 shits about this season anymore. He's kind of done what he's needed to do. And you are going to see the mental drop off from Milan.
Well, probably maybe Conte might join Milan. We'll see.
Possibly. Who knows with that guy? And if he comes back to Serie A, watch this space, man, because you never know what's going to happen if that clown.
I just wish he doesn't come back to Inter, but
well, I don't want him to come back to Juventus.
He's not coming back. 100%.
Don't worry, Mattia. When Inzaghi gets sacked in the next week or 2, I've got a whole thumbnail ready with different heads on it. One will be Conte, one will be De Zerbi.
Marotta wants Conte. You can bet on that.
He's already called him. He's already called him for sure. Marotta is always one phone call ahead. Marotta was on the phone to Allegri the week before we asked Simone Inzaghi. Everybody knows that. Marotta has no shame, whatever. He will call anybody on any given day at any given time. But as Ian Kerr says, no money, no Conte. It's as simple as that. So who knows?
Guys, interesting that both Inter and Juve fans don't want Conte back.
Yeah.
Don't want him.
I don't want him.
More liabilities, more problems than positives. That's for sure.
Guys,
I gotta get going in 5 minutes. So time to wrap this up. It was a fantastic 50 minutes. Thank you very much to our channel members, Mike Ma and Mattia, for coming in. I appreciate you both. Thank you very much. We'll see you both soon, right?
Absolutely.
Have a great one.
Great. Perfect. And thank you very much to my friend Rino. Once again, his channel, the link is in the description. Culture with Reno Z, with Reno Z, whatever you want to say. Make sure you like his videos, subscribe to his channel. And we'll be teeing up a little bit more, my friend, you and I, on each other's platforms in the near
distant. I'll let you know. I might do a live on my end on Thursday. I can let you know if you're okay with the time that I'm doing it.
When I'm on school holidays, bro, just drop me a link anytime. And if I'm awake, I'll click it and I'll join in. The problems come, obviously, when I'm not on school holidays. 80% of my
Okay, I'll let
day
you
is
know,
out of
and
action.
then I give you the link.
Perfect. All right.
Okay.
Thank you very
much.
We got a high of 27 people with us today, which was nice. There's still 21 with us right now. Make sure you like the video before you leave. Make sure you subscribe to the friend Reno's channel, and also
thank you.
And always drop a comment if you are new, so we know. Thank you, Mike, Mattia, Reno. Thank you to the chat.